Hey guys, it's your boy Mark back with another video, and your boy is here to give you yet another 2021 movie thoughts video for y'all. This is yet another movie thoughts for something I honestly wasn't sure we was ever gonna see, to tell the truth. And by the way, this is actually my second attempt doing my thoughts for this film. I'm reading. I'm kind of basing this off of notes I wrote, like a whole bunch of notes I just wrote. So if I sound like robotic or anything like that, then you know why. Your boy is here to give you his thoughts on the director's cut for Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League 2021. The director's cut for Justice League 2017. I'll try to keep this as spoiler-free as I possibly can. I might slip and say something that would be considered a spoiler, so please be forewarned. Your boy watched this film earlier today, actually. And last night, I had a fantastic DCEU marathon, starting with the original Justice League first. And then I watched the DCU up to Justice League in chronological order, starting with Wonder Woman, then Man of Steel, then Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition, then Suicide Squad Extended Cut, and then I went to sleep because I needed it. And I woke up a few hours later, waited till 1 p.m., which is when my eating window starts. Got my popcorn and Coca-Cola ready to watch this film, and I was pretty annoyed with my mum when I was watching this film because we were supposed to watch this together, but then of course of all day some bullshit had to come up and she wasn't really able to watch it with me properly. We plan on, watching this together properly at some point, but it was supposed to be today. Back in 2017, I really did have a blast in cinemas watching the theatrical Justice League on the big screen, honestly. In my movie thoughts from back then, I'm pretty sure I said in that movie thoughts video that I give it a 10 out of 10. And even though I really did have a blast watching it in cinemas back then, I didn't really think it was a 10 out of 10. I mean, even when I loved it back then, was it every single thing I wanted it to be? No. But I still had a blast watching it, and I still have a blast watching it on repeat viewings, to tell the truth. And I was one of the people who doubted the existence of the Snyder Cut. I am owning up to that. I said it didn't exist. I was telling people to get over it. I'm owning up to that. What I really regret, though, is when I joined the bandwagon in bashing and making fun of the DCEU, which I didn't do as often on YouTube. Mostly this was on Facebook. I wish I had always been real with how I feel about movies like I do now and continued supporting the DCEU all this time, because y'all know back in 2016, I loved Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad when I saw those in cinemas. When they announced this officially last year, I was ecstatic. And even when I was, bashing the DCU, saying the Snyder Cut didn't exist, deep down, I wanted to see the Snyder Cut whether it existed or not. My boy Danny, even knew back then that deep down, I loved the DCU all this time, and I loved that he knew that. I am so happy I was wrong about the Snyder Cut existing. The Snyder Cut absolutely does indeed exist. I'm so happy it does. Even I was late to the release the Snyder Cut movement. And even a friend of mine who criticized me for, understandably why, for saying it didn't exist, even he was like, thank you, mate, when I started, hashtagging release the Snyder Cut. And I really appreciate that, actually. To tell the truth, this took me back from how different this was from the theatrical version, the Justice League, if you will. I don't bash Joss Whedon as much as everyone else does. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I'll explain what exactly Zack Snyder's Justice League is. Back in 2017, while production for Justice League was nearing completion, a personal tragedy in Zack Snyder's life caused him to step away from production, leaving the film in the hands of Warner Brothers and Avengers director Joss Whedon. They, even though I do honestly personally enjoy the theatrical cut, basically butchered Snyder's vision and made it their own thing. I was so disappointed, along with a lot of people back then, when they announced the gay-ass runtime of 119 minutes. For real, man. And the second it released, fans have begged and pleaded for the original director's cut of Justice League, as Zack Snyder intended. And fast forward 3.5 years later, we finally have that. And when this film started, I had instant chills. There's this amazing sense of doom throughout the entire 4-hour film that I love so much, and that's more like it, man. Oh man, I was so disappointed when they announced this was only 2 hours back in 2017. But 4 hours, that's more like it, man. Far out. And like I said, there's this amazing sense of doom throughout the whole film. The whole 4-hour film that I love so much. It's so freaking serious, which I love. Sprinkles of humor throughout. Honestly, I had Avengers Infinity War vibes the whole time. With a little bit of Endgame with the resurrection of Superman stuff, you know? And, I gotta say, the score for this film is chef's kiss, man. I love the score throughout so much. And, I absolutely love the score to death, man. Absolutely amazing. I was taken back by how little Batman and Superman there is in this film, actually. If you had told me when I was 15 years old, 14, 15 years old, back in 2013, back when a young Mark Sanders, well, he wasn't Mark Sanders yet, when a live-action Justice League movie was a hypothetical thing, something that I, as a 14 to 15-year-old, wanted to happen so bad. If you had told me back then that when the Justice League movie happens, Superman and Batman would barely be in it, I probably would have called BS. Because I absolutely would think that those two would have the most screen time and the most moments by a long shot. I won't lie. Yeah, I won't lie that I was a tad disappointed that they didn't have a whole lot of screen time in this film. But at the same time, I do understand why they wanted to have Cyborg, Flash, Aquaman, and even Wonder Woman take center stage in comparison to those two. And by the way, back in 2013, I had no idea that they would go the new 52 route of a Justice League members for a live-action film. I would have thought that they would have Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern, Hal Jordan in this film 100%. Even back then, I thought that Ryan Reynolds would be playing Green Lantern in a Justice League film. But, you know, I understand why they wanted Cyborg, Flash, Aquaman taking center stage, like I was talking about, in comparison to Batman and Superman, that is. I still loved all the characters. I absolutely loved all the characters. I loved the new characters. And it's insane how much new footage there is in this movie. Like, I'm talking like 10% of footage in this movie is also in the theatrical cut. And even if you do see the same footage from the theatrical cut, it was very likely recontextualized in the Snyder cut. And it honestly blows my mind how different this director's cut is from the theatrical. This actually does feel like a proper continuation from Batman v Superman. This is a very slow-paced film, I'll admit. It really does take its time, which I find kind of weird given the danger all around in this film. If you've seen the original Justice League, and if you guys have seen the original Justice League, you know that the Justice League will win. They'll defeat Steppenwolf. Yes. Even in the theatrical, Superman destroys Steppenwolf. And if Superman was alive the whole time, they would have destroyed Steppenwolf in much less than 4 hours. Like, if Superman was still alive the whole time. So, with Superman, like, out for most of this film, that makes sense why you would have, like, Steppenwolf as the villain. Like, without Superman, you know? One thing I loved about this film, but I was also sad about at the same time, was about the future teasers in this film, that we don't know if we will see them fully come into fruition. I'm talking like Injustice flash forwards, teasers for future films, especially that we don't even know will even get made. Heck, even teasers for future films that have already been made, like Aquaman and the upcoming Flash, which hopefully actually does release in 2022 next year. And a good amount of new characters that we're not sure we'll see more of. And one of my favorite YouTubers right now, Cody Leach, my boy, he said it best, like, in his spoiler-free review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's so cool, like, to see all these teasers, and to quote him in his review, I don't know, though. Like, for real. And to tell the truth, I know I came on late to the release the Snyder Cut movement after I was initially bashing it. But I'm happy it exists, and now I am, from the beginning, maybe not the very beginning, but I'm on the release restore the Snyderverse movement, okay? One thing I have to mention, one thing I'm very excited to talk about actually is Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf was like nothing in the theatrical cut, but in this version, he's freaking awesome. I understood him completely. I understood why he was doing what he was doing. And not gonna lie, I felt sorry for Steppenwolf. I really did. I'm not gonna say why he does what he does. But the film makes this clear, actually. The thing is, he's still just Darkseid's henchman. Even the Justice League themselves know that he's just Darkseid's henchman. And by the way, you know, I have to talk about Darkseid. Darkseid is so awesome in this movie. He's not in it much, but when he does show up, it's so epic. And I loved him. I hope we see more of this Darkseid. Honestly, I understand people saying you could have cut a lot out of this film, but you don't know how ecstatic I was for that 4-hour runtime. That final act was awesome. Lots of awesome fighting. I love Steppenwolf so much better, even if you know Darkseid is behind everything. And this is coming from someone who didn't mind Steppenwolf in the theatrical cut, honestly. He was fine. But this version of Steppenwolf, so much more depth. And honestly, they humanized him. And I love that. This film is broken up into 8 chapters. Everyone says 7, but I would count the intro as a little chapter of its own. People complain about the epilogue, but I loved every second of that epilogue. Honestly, I really did. There's this awesome little fight scene with Batman that's kind of like the BVS warehouse fight scene that very much mimics the Arkham games. But it's Batman with parademons, though. And heck, I I even felt bad for the parademons in this film when you learn what they actually are. Mira, played by Amber Heard. The infamous, right now, Amber Heard was in this movie more than I expected. I really hope that the films that are teased in this movie actually do get made and released. I am with the Restore the Snyderverse movement. They teased the standalone Batman film. We have to see Justice League 2 and 3. Man, now, after what this movie was showing, man, especially the teasers in this film, we have to see Justice League 2 and 3 now. The Flash is still goofy, The Flash by Ezra Miller. Maybe even more so than the theatrical, which might sound hard to believe, but yeah. I understand people might not like this film and think it's meh. I do want to rewatch this film, but I don't know what much more to talk about, honestly, in this movie thoughts. I might have forgotten stuff to talk about in this, but at least I'll admit that now. As for my rating for this film, my heart wants to give it a 10 out of 10, but I don't know if I really think it is, at least not right now. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic that Zack Snyder's Justice League exists. And I want this to become canon. Okay? Hashtag release the Ayer cut. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Let's make Shazam, Birds of Prey, and the Suicide Squad, and anything else coming up canon with Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I have to mention this. I would have beaten myself up so much if I had forgot to mention this. But my dream finally came true with this movie. We finally see Ben Affleck's Batman interact with Jared Leto's Joker. It was just one scene, but to finally see it happen, I wanted to cry when it happened. Man, Henry Cavill as Superman is awesome, even if he's not in it much. He looks so badass in the black suit. Like I said, I really wish there was a lot more Batman and Superman in this film. And Batman doesn't even wear the bat suit until almost 2 hours into this movie. I'm serious. Like I said, I still understand why they would want the newly introduced characters to take center stage for this. Darkseid was awesome. Steppenwolf was awesome and humanized, even like I said before. Joe Morton as Silas Stone, Victor Stone, Cyborg's father, was awesome. Cyborg, he's the one character that everyone is talking about. I love Cyborg. I don't have anything much more to say, even though he was the heart of this film, like Zack Snyder says. Well, there was so much Cyborg. You basically got Cyborg's whole origin in this film. And I admire that. Like I said, all these new characters were awesome. I don't feel like I can give this film a rating yet, but like I said, my heart wants to give this a 10 out of 10. When I rewatch it, I hope I do think it's a 10 out of 10. It's weird because I didn't really think there was anything wrong with this film, because I pretty much got everything I wanted, except for a lot more Batman and Superman screen time. My heart wants to give it a 10 out of 10, but perhaps I don't think it really is a 10 though. But I want to give it that score. You know what I mean. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. It was so awesome to see Batfleck interact with Leto Kerr. I hope all the teasers in this film come to fruition. It was 4 hours long, but it didn't really bother me at all. I was so into the film that it didn't matter, man. And yeah, your boy doesn't have an official rating for Zack Snyder's Justice League, but my quote-unquote official rating for it right now is my heart wants to give it a 10 out of 10. That's my official rating for it right now. quote unquote. This film gave me everything I wanted except for a lot of Batman and Superman screen time. Teasers, they were so cool, but I don't know though. Anyway, that's your boys' thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I didn't sound too robotic, because like I said, I was reading this off of notes, off of everything I wrote in a WordPad. And if you guys enjoyed your boy's thoughts, please let him know, because he would very much appreciate that. Hearing that, of course. In conclusion, the Snyder Cut exists. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. And, yeah. Peace out, guys. Hope you loved your boy's thoughts. And, yeah. I'll see y'all later. Peace out, y'all.